Hello and welcome. In today's video, I will show you how to run Dockerized application on AWS EC2 instance. This video is hands-on tutorial, so please follow me along. Also, you can find all of the commands in the link in the description. Okay, without any further ado, let's get started. Inside your AWS console, search for EC2 service. You will land on the EC2 dashboard. In this place, you can find information about your current running instances, your load balancers, security groups, and other useful metrics. To create a new instance, click Launch Instance button. There, you will find a new form for creating EC2 instance. It's a little bit different from what you can see on others' YouTube videos. AWS changes its layout very often. At the top of the page, we can set the tags for the instance. They are optional, but it's good practice to set them. They simplify our work, especially if we have many instances. I will add demo docker EC2 tag. In the next section, we have to pick the operating system. There are many options. You can pick Amazon Linux, Mac OS, Windows, and so on. I will pick Amazon Linux because it's supporting free tier. If you are outside the free tier, please be cautious. The prices of different operating systems may differ and drill your pocket. Next, we can pick the type of the instance. In short words, it's all about computing power and money. More CPU and memory you pick, the more money it will cost you. I will pick T2 micro instance because it's free tier eligible. Next, we have to pick or create a key pair. It's for login purposes. Just for a showcase, I will create a new key pair. Here, you have to name the key and pick the encryption algorithm. There is also the option of picking the key format. When you are ready, click Create Key Pair. Please save the key in the safe place. You will use it to connect to your instance. Okay, moving forward. There is a section about network configuration. We will create a new security group for our instance. Security groups defines what traffic is allowed and what is prohibited inside our network. Okay, I will leave SSH checkbox set. This allows any computer from the network to connect via SSH to the instance. I know that's not the best practice. Normally, in the production system, you will set it to a specific IP address. In the last section, we can set the storage for our instance. I will leave the default 8 GB. It's enough for our use case. In a free tier, you can pick up to 30 GB of storage. Finally, there is a section of advanced settings, but it's not a subject of today's video. In the left-hand side, we have a summary. There are a number of instances we will schedule and as well as other systems information. When you are ready, please click Launch Instance. After a few seconds, you should see a success pop-up. It means that AWS has successfully started the process of scheduling the instance. Next, let's click View All Instances. Currently, in my current region, I have only one EC2 instance. As you can see, it's in the pending state. AWS needs a few minutes to fully start it. I will pause here and I will go back to you when it's ready. Cool, the EC2 instance is ready. The instance state is ready. When you click on the ID of the instance, you will see all of the basic infos, such as IP addresses, instance type, and so on. Let's move back to the list of instances and let's click on the checkbox next to our instance and let's click Actions and Connect. In this window, there are 4 options to connect to EC2. You can connect to EC2 directly inside the console. You can use the Session Manager. You can use the SSH or EC2 Serial Console. In my daily job, I use SSH option all the time. But for this tutorial, it will be more convenient to stay in the console. So, click on the first tab and click Connect. In the new tab, there will be a new terminal open for us. Just print working directory command to check if it works. Cool, half of the work done. We have running EC2 instance and we are connected. Now let's install the Docker and run some container. To do so, let's start from typing the command sudo yum update. It will update all of our dependencies. Here you have to confirm by typing y. Now let's install the Docker. The command is as follows. Unfortunately, it's not all. We have to add group membership for the default EC2 user so we can run all Docker commands without using the sudo command. Next, let's enable Docker service at MMI boot time. Finally, let's start the Docker service. To verify if Docker works, I will use the Hello World REST service. It's simple image. It starts a HTTP service and echoes the request back. To have it up and running, please type this command. As you can see, the Docker is building the container. It will be running on the port 5050. When we switch the tab to EC2 dashboard and click on our instance, there is a public DNS address we can use. During the instance launch time, AWS associated some default DNS address to our instance. It's very convenient, we don't have to buy a domain at the start of the development of the app. Please copy this address. We will use it to verify our container. Next, open a new browser tab and paste it. Add the port number to the end of the address and type something after the slash. This doesn't matter what you will type. The container will reply it. But when you press enter, nothing will happen. The page will be loading infinitely. It's because of our security group settings. It doesn't allow for any access from the internet. We have to change it first. To do so, let's move back to the console again. Scroll a little to the bottom and click on the security tab, and then click on your security group. Next, click the Edit Inbound Rules button. Currently, we have only one rule for SSH. Please click Add the Rule button and pick Custom TCP option. In the port range, set our container port 5050. Finally, for the IP address, type 0.0.0.0. It will allow anyone from the internet to access the service. Finally, let's click the Save Rule button. Cool, now let's move back to the tab with the DNS address. Great, as you can see, now everything is working correctly. You can change the path in the end of the URL. It will be instantly printed in the screen. So, this way we have learned how to schedule new EC2 instance, install Docker there and run the container. But before the end, let's terminate the instance to not pay any unnecessary money. Finally, let's stop the running container by typing the Ctrl+C button. Finally, in the Instance tab, let's click the checkbox next to our instance and click Instance State button, and then Terminate. Confirm, and your instance will be terminated. And that's it. You have scheduled removal of your instance. Thank you for the watching. I hope you have found it useful. See you next time.